It has been a while, but we are for round round six of season three with Lando Norris, Alex Dunn, and Lewis Hamilton are the top three in the championship, separated by 10 points, and Ferrari, McLaren, and Audi top three in the constructors championship, separated by 16 points, with Oscar Piastri having quite a poor start to the season. We've had a different race winner every single race, including Nico Hulkenberg, Lewis Hamilton, Nico Hulkenberg, Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc, and then Alex Dunn. Well, it's a Japanese Grand Prix. It's the first of 3 new tracks on this championship. So let's take a look at what will happen in the qualifying session for the Japanese Grand Prix. It does seem to be an intermediate qualifying session, so let's, with intermediate tire conditions, as Isaac Hadjar seems to be the first one to leave the pit lane. Oh no, it looks like a Williams of, I'm guessing, I can't remember the liveries here really, Carlos Sainz though, is the first guy to actually go out onto track with Hadjar behind him. Lewis Hamilton, third place in the championship. He is looking like he is going to be starting his lap time while behind a McLaren. Oh, I'm guessing it's Oscar Piastri. It is Oscar Piastri, so that's interesting. As his teammate, is Oscar Piastri's teammate, and Norris is a bit further ahead, championship leader, into this race. But Alex Dunn, the surprise championship contender, is there out on track as well, getting ready, going under the bridge now. As we head back to Carlos Sainz, who's going to start his flying lap. When we say flying lap, who we mean flying lap? He looks like he was going quite fast for the S's there. As he gets past a Red Bull, he's a touch on the gravel there. We got very lucky, maybe not spin out. His back marker in the way, tight. Looks like a gold Cadillac. As he heads up into the hairpin. Now, this hairpin on this version of Suzuki mounts. Can Antonelli do anything about it? Antonelli right up behind him, only a tenth behind him. That is close. Mercedes have been off the pace these past few races, so that is good for them. Really good for them, in fact. There goes Valtteri Bottas in the Cadillac. Where will we see him plonk that Cadillac in P5? That's brilliant. As we now look at Hulkenberg, who's going to cross the line. He won race 2, didn't he? He now crosses the line to put that car in P9 behind Carlos Sainz, his teammate up in P3, grabbing Bortoleto. Behrman through that final chicane. Now, what could Behrman do? Could Behrman do anything here? He's been quite fast in qualifying and stuff recently. Can he put that car higher up? No, only P10. Esteban Ocon, his teammate, rounds that final corner. Esteban Ocon, where does he go? Did he go ahead of his teammate? Yes, he does, P5. George Russell, can he beat his teammate? He's in P2 and potentially even go P1. George Russell, he crosses the line, only P7 currently, as the driver is going to get ready for the second qualifying laps. It's Leclerc on pole position, provisional pole. I will also keep in mind though that Russell might struggle to get a second lap in. Here he is, Gabriel Bortoleto. He is looking to get a pole position here. Gabriel Bortoleto starts his flying lap. He has got to find 0.57 seconds somewhere. He's got a Cadillac in front of him there. He gets past them fast though. Watch these cars through the S's. Absolutely storming. Look at that. Crazy. You see Antonio Giovinazzi on the outside there again. Bortoleto also hits the gravel there. Here's a little small kink. You notice it there? He turns a little bit left and then he turns it for the hairpin. So it's tiny little kink, but he is there. Who will not get a second lap in? Bortoleto does go fast in sector 2, but several drivers, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Pierce, Russell, Ocon, Leclerc will not get a second lap time in here. Hayes, Stroll, Albon, Perez, Giovinazzi, and I think that's it. We'll not get a second lap time. Bortoleto, fast sector 3, does improve this lap time, but not enough though. Lewis Hamilton, Oscar Piastri as well are next to cross the line, I think. Hamilton He's entering the chicane. He's got a Mercedes in front of him. That is going to hold him up massively. Lewis Hamilton on P19. He'll want to improve, but that Mercedes might have severely affected his lap time. Lewis Hamilton goes P7. Not good enough. Carlos Sainz rounds the final corner. Carlos Sainz, can he put that car higher than P12? He does. Not I think. Done. Second place in the championship. Sainz, by the way, is in P4. Done in a P5, Piastri. Can Piastri improve by 6/10 to take pole position off Charles Leclerc? He goes through the chicane now. This is truly important. 8 minutes of qualifying here. We're about to figure out who gets a pole position for the inaugural Japanese Grand Prix. Round the final corner, across the line. Piastri goes P3, out qualifies Bortoletto, and it's Charles Leclerc on pole. Charles Leclerc on pole position for the Japanese Grand Prix with Kimi Antonelli from Mercedes second place, and Oscar Piastri and Ferrari from McLaren. Fourth, Gabriel Bortoletto. Fifth, Carlos Sainz, another good for him. Sixth, Alex Albon. Lando Norris and Auburn McLaren P7. Eighth, Isaac Hadjar. Ninth, Esteban Ocon. Lewis Hamilton P10, not where he wants to be. Same for Max in P11. 12th, George Russell. 13th is Valtteri Bottas, good for him in Cadillac. 14th, Nico Hülkenberg. 15th, Ollie Behrman. 16th is Pierre Gasly. 17th is Joshua Pierce. 18th is Fernando Alonso. 19th is Anna Hayes. Antonio Giovinazzi 20th. Lance Stroll 21st. Sebastian Vettel of Porsche 22nd. 23rd, Alex Albon. And 24th is Sergio Perez. Here we go, the Japanese Grand Prix is here. 3, 4, 5 red lights. Allows a long wait, but his lights down, away they go. Good start for Charles Leclerc. He gets ahead. He stays ahead of Kimi Antonelli, who is on mediums, and has Piastri on the inside of him. Piastri is in second place. Can Bortoletto take third place off Kimi Antonelli? The answer to that is yes, he can. And even Carlos Sainz is trying to get past Kimi Antonelli here. This is absolutely mental. Carlos Sainz is also trying to wrap around the outside of Kimi Antonelli on the inside. No, Kimi Antonelli keeps fourth place. He does drop down from fourth to second. Quite 4 second to fourth quite early. He's very slow there. That was Alex Dunn's got a penalty for causing a collision. I wonder if it's because Antonelli was going very slow suddenly, and Alex Dunn may have hit him. Hamilton from P8, P10 to P8. Alex Dunn on the inside of Kimi Antonelli. There's Lewis Hamilton is going to get through. Alex Dunn, does he? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Alex Dunn stays in P7 with his 5-second penalty. I'm predicting he must have rear-ended Antonelli somewhere there. Now Alex Dunn, does he get past Antonelli? Yes, he does. Now Gasly, now for Braun has got penalties. Hamilton is caught up now, and Alex Dunn looks slow as he ran out of battery potentially. I think he must have, as he is now on the outside of Alex Dunn, ahead of Alex Dunn, the inside of Kimi Antonelli's contact there, and there's a crash, and Antonelli's out of this race. And he's not, no, he's still there. He's a P8, but Antonelli did hit the wall as the track is cleared, and he's got front wing damage. Will he come into the pits? No, but that is backed up the field a lot. As we head down to turn 1, Antonelli is going to, he went from P2 to P9. Oh, the safety car out, and there's a big accident there. Gasly's and Verstappen's got a penalty, as Hülkenberg was in the walls. We saw there, Hülkenberg is out of his race. Audi, that was not ideal for Audi. Verstappen's got a 5-second penalty, Dunn's got a 5-second penalty, and Gasly's got a 5-second penalty after lap 1. And Antonelli went from P2 to P9 in the space of literally 1 lap, as he did hit the wall with a collision with Lewis Hamilton, who's currently in P6 after starting P10. BSC is ending now though, as Carlos Sainz will probably be focusing on Lando Norris behind him as we go green once again here. Valtteri Bottas in P14, that is pretty good for Cadillac, who we know is pretty slow. Behrman chasing him down, Pierce behind him, Vettel and Hayes and Giovinazzi look like they're going to go side by side into the hairpin. Hayes, does he get past Giovinazzi? Giovinazzi still on the inside. There's a bit of contact there. Give Giovinazzi a 5-second penalty, which is not what he needs, as Lance Stroll is looking like he is going to be all over Antonio Giovinazzi now. He's on the back foot now as Antonio Giovinazzi in hard tyres. He's the only guy on hard tyres out there, but here he is still. Look at the grading on Lance Stroll's tyres there, they're mental. Piastri is at Charles Leclerc into the pit after 2 laps. Piastri's into the lead, and so is Bortoletto. Soft tyres seem to only be lasting 2 laps. Somebody's gone off there. There's a yellow flag out. I'm trying to figure out who is off track. It's gone green once again though, as it's looks like I think Alex Dunn has been off potentially. Not Alex Dunn, Pierre Gasly, but Lewis Hamilton and Lando Norris have been caught by Alex Dunn as they're on soft tyres and they've only got the grading on their tyres is quite high as we head up the hill. Alex Dunn right behind them. Piastri leads his race by 7.7 seconds. We will have to watch out for Charles Leclerc. Oh, Alex Dunn off the track there on the outside of Lewis Hamilton. Alex Dunn gets past Lewis Hamilton into the hairpin. Yeah, these soft tyres don't seem to be working very well as we head now down to Kimi Antonelli, who's a P7 after all that, but it looks like Valtteri Bottas is P8 is potentially the cork in the bottle for this big battle here, as Pierre Gasly is going to be overtaken by Ollie Behrman potentially. We head down into Spoon Curve. Ollie Behrman on the inside of Pierre Gasly. Ollie Behrman ahead of Pierre Gasly. Charles Leclerc right behind him there. Charles Leclerc is 20.7 seconds behind the race leader, who is into the pits. Oscar Piastri is in the pits, so we'll be watching over him in a second to see where he exits compared to Charles Leclerc. But Charles Leclerc, is he being held up here by Ollie Behrman? Charles Leclerc he's on medium tyres, while Oscar Piastri's rival for this race is pits for hard tyres. Charles Leclerc will be getting a bit of a slipstream off Pierre Gasly here as he exits behind Lando Norris and well, not behind Oscar Piastri. He's behind Oscar Piastri. He's on hard tyres, to be fair. He's ahead of Pierre Gasly now, but Oscar Piastri is in net first, 12.7 seconds behind his teammate, who is somehow getting these soft tyres. Sainz has got a 5-second penalty for causing a collision, I'm assuming, with Gabriel Bortoleto, who's down at P9. Bortoleto's all over Carlos Sainz, as looks like Piastri's got a bit of a gap to Charles Leclerc now as we left that there. There goes Bortoleto on the inside of Sainz at the hairpin, and ahead of Sainz at the hairpin, as he's actually Hamilton's got 5-second penalties now as well. There's penalties all over the field here. I think it's bits of contact. The game's classing it as a penalty for whatever reason. Behrman gets past Pierre Gasly. His tyres also look like they're grading a lot as Pierre Gasly is still on the inside of him there. As we head up the hill, Giovinazzi in P6 just behind him. I'm not surprised them hard tyres have gone for. They look like the hard tyres could be the tyres to be on for most of this race. Norris pits. The two Cadillac drivers battling away there. It looks like as Perez, I'm assuming, is coming to the pits to get them soft tyres. He has got several punctures. So Gabriel Bortoleto was trying to get past Antonio Giovinazzi here while he's been held up by Antonio Giovinazzi. Lewis Hamilton, Esteban Ocon and Carlos Sainz are catching up to him. So that is not... Oh, there's a false bit of contact there. He's on the inside. There is a bit of contact, and that is going to hold them both up even more as Hamilton is now literally on the scene. But Bortoleto on the inside of Giovinazzi and ahead of Giovinazzi, who is still going on them hard tyres after 5 laps. Or 6 laps, even 5 laps. Sainz into the pits after 2 laps on soft tyres. Verstappen into the pits after 2 laps on medium tyres. Here we are, the championship leader, Lando Norris, in P9. Not ideally where he wants to be, but keep in mind, Antonio Giovinazzi has not pitted, and he's in front of him, 2 seconds in front of him. So, I guess he's technically P8, but still, that's not ideal when he's trying to lead the championship and fight for a championship. As we see, Hadjar and Giovinazzi go side by side through the corners as Giovinazzi is now being attacked by Lando Norris and has been overtaken by Lando Norris. Keep in mind, Charles Leclerc has just pitted and he's exiting in P9. Gasly gets another 5-second penalty for causing a collision. He's actually on the grass there, so I wonder if he's being forced off and to give the penalty for it, as Leclerc in P10 after the pit stop. It'll take a while to warm up his tyres as Stroll will pressure for a little bit, but I imagine back off, as yeah, he has. So the question is, oh, there's a virtual safety yellow flag as Perez has come off in the crash. There's a virtual safety car off. Out as Hayes is in the wall, it looks like. I can't tell you where, I'm assuming it's at the last corner, at turn 1 somewhere, but there's a virtual safety car out. I'll probably say, the question is, what does McLaren and Piastri do? Do they pit here actually? Does this virtual safety car potentially benefit them? But what would they go for? They got about roughly 6 laps remaining. So Leclerc's out of this race. Leclerc is out of this race. I did not see that. Charles Leclerc is out of this race. And I was about to say, what did McLaren do? They do pit him. They do pit Oscar Piastri. Charles Leclerc is out of this race. He is. Don't see where he got taken out of. Like, whether he was involved in the collision. I didn't think he was. I think it must be a separate collision he was in. As it goes, green flag now. Will Oscar Piastri exit in the race lead? Because half the pit lane he will exit in the first, but half that pit lane he spent in on the virtual safety car, the other half on the green flag conditions. But it was just enough to keep him in first place by about 3 seconds. As Norris is in P3 now, as Antonelli made his way back up to P4. But Charles Leclerc out of this race after starting on pole is absolutely mental. Sainz has got a 5-second penalty. I'm assuming collision with Hadjar potentially, as Hadjar goes around the outside of Sainz. Hadjar or inside of Sainz and is ahead of Sainz as Behrman pits, and he's for some reason slowed down. He's just ahead of Perez. I don't know what happened to Behrman in this race. Haven't been paying attention to him, but it's turning to a race to forget all over Behrman. As that line starts with Lewis Hamilton pit after 4 laps on hard tyres. No, he's got Norris up his rear end now, so that'll be interesting. Verstappen and Sainz also fighting for P13. Verstappen hard tyres. Hadjar gets a 5-second penalty for causing the collision. Head to him now as he's all over Alonso. This could get very interesting for Hadjar as we now look at turn 1 for Hadjar on the inside of Fernando Alonso. That got very close there, didn't it? It still is getting very close. Hadjar and Alonso still side by side up into the S's potentially here. Alonso slots in behind Hadjar and P8 after people pitting. Black line out of 13. And this race is also getting spicy for P2. And Hamilton's got a 5-second penalty. He's behind. He's ahead of Norris. But I wonder if he'll maybe soon just drop down a little bit potentially. Just not really focus on Norris, because he has got this 5-second penalty. You might think, well, my tyres, am I trying to get into the end? Because if I pit and exit in, I'm reckoning in that big, massive pack of cars from like Alonso down to Stroll. So do we let him by and like focus on trying to get the tyres to the end, or do we fight him and focus on making gap? No, he's pitting. That's it. He's pitting. Lewis Hamilton and Lando Norris are pitting. Both of them are pitting, actually. So that makes it interesting, as Albon gets a 5-second penalty for causing a collision, as Hadjar seems to vanish there for a second. But the question is, am I right with them where these guys exit the pits? And stuff. Hamilton is down, is behind Norris after that pit stop. He seems to got potentially held up in the pit lane, or is he? I don't know, but I think because the more cars are pitting, they do exit in that area, but not in the big pack. I thought they would exit in. Norris is quite far ahead of them now. Is Norris a threat to Oscar Piastri's race? Because I don't think so, but I'm just thinking if Oscar Piastri gets some punctures, we've seen them before. Yeah. Hold up, Antonelli is ahead of Norris and Hamilton, so is Dunn and Hadjar, and they've pitted before. So in fact, I don't think Norris and Hamilton are safe of it, actually. Oh, Hamilton had his 5-second penalty, I forgot about that. That'll be why he's behind. Okay, so this is interesting now to see where they're going to finish. Perez is miles back as Piastri is into the pits. I did not expect to see Piastri come to the pits after tuning up some medium tyres. What did he go for? Another pit stop. It is going to be soft tyres. I'm not sure if they will get to the end. These soft tyres. Okay, that'll be interesting. Borgletto on hard tyres. I reckon they'll get to the end. This is going to be very, very interesting. As Borgletto, they're all coming to the pits. Are these guys not thinking these tyres are getting to the end? Borgletto, what is Audi playing at? I think this is interesting. This is very interesting. Hamilton also went for soft tyres. Noticed that. So did Norris. I'm not sure they're getting to the end. This is very interesting. Albon, another penalty. He seems to be causing collisions left, right, and centre, doesn't he? As he heads around that final corner. Active aero enabled. If we head down into turn 1, here we go. This could be quite interesting. And it's not because Vettel races by. Bottas and Hamilton fighting over P6. Bottas. Oh, and Hamilton collides. And Hamilton gets a 5-second penalty for causing a collision for that bit of contact. I think that's a bit harsh, but I can't lie, I think half these penalties this race have been very, very harsh. Hamilton once again though on outside Bottas, inside for a spoon curve. Oh, I thought they were going to collide for a second there. I think it was just a camera angle, but they're still going side by side now. Down the back straight, up the hill to 130R, getting ready to go over the bridge. Hamilton edges ahead, he gets ahead. Austrian is the fastest sector 3. He is absolutely dominating this race. As Bottas is squeezed out a little bit, Bottas stays on the inside of Hamilton, it's very close. But Hamilton gets ahead and it looks like he gets P6 in the bag. Norris is up members in P2 right now, by the way. But no, there it is, very Bottas back on the inside of Hamilton. That was unexpected. Is he going to stay ahead of Hamilton? He gives him a lot of room. Looks like yes, he does. I think Hamilton ran out of battery down that straight. Yellow flag sector 3. Albon causes another collision and there's a crash on the wall. And it seems like Sainz is out of this race. He's facing the wrong way. No, he's back the right way around now. And that 12 out of 13, it all kicked off there. Because Piastri is going to have to watch out for Perez here, it looks like. Hadjar and Antonelli fighting over the final podium position. Hadjar for Red Bull, Antonelli for Mercedes. Antonelli's done such a great comeback, let's be honest, after them last lap 1 shenanigans. As Piastri enters the final lap of the race, Hadjar in P3 with a 5-second penalty though. So Antonelli might not be too concerned as long as he stays quite close. It does seem a bit wide for them corners there. Antonelli got a puncture. I don't know, but Stroll is also all over Max Verstappen. Stroll is ahead of Verstappen, but he's got a 5-second penalty too. Oh, I got close there. I thought Verstappen was going to rear-end Lance Stroll all of a sudden there as we head now down. Looking back at Hadjar and Antonelli, they've got a bit of a gap in there. Looks like they calmed down potentially. Bottas has got a puncture. I told you. I mean, that's 4 laps and then soft tyres. We better look at Antonelli because he's also got a puncture. Antonelli's also got punctures. As Hamilton gets ahead, Antonelli has also got punctures. I was about to say, better look at all. Stroll's also got a puncture. All these guys have 4 lap old tyres. Just punctures everywhere, left, right, and centre. But it looks like Oscar Piastri, who's had such a disappointing start to this season 3 campaign, it's going around the final chicane for the last time. Through the final corner, Antonelli track limit warning once again as a yellow flag back there. It seems like it's going to be a race win. Oh, Pierce is off. Pierce is off, and so is Antonelli. Pierce and Antonelli are off as Piastri wins. It's a virtual safety car deployed. Whoa, this carnage. Albon's facing the wrong way. There's a fire in the background. And this is absolutely mental at the end there. Punctures at all left, right and centre. Collisions here and there. All over the place. Punctures absolutely causing havoc on this final lap. Lando Norris will take 2nd place. Will Lewis Hamilton get 3rd? Because he somehow dropped behind Hadjar. I think Hamilton will get 3rd despite his 5-second penalty. There's so much carnage here. Perez somehow finished at a bearing. I don't know how that's happened, but Hadjar, has he also got a puncture, I'm assuming? Yes, he does. Hamilton finishes in 3rd. Hadjar will drop behind Ocon, who will get a 4th place finish. And Bortoletto, who will get 5th place. Will Hadjar drop any lower? Yes, he will. Behind Giovinazzi and Alonso, and just all the whole field, I think. Yeah, Hadjar is not finishing the points. I don't actually know all the drivers who crashed out there and didn't get a finish this race. Verstappen, I think, also had the punctures across the line. That was mental. Drivers all over the place, just getting punctures. Another one, as Bottas already had, was Stroll, Sainz, done. Still trying to figure out who has what actually happened there. I think, I don't think I can ever figure it out, but all I know is Albon and Antonelli did not get out of that carnage alive. Oh, they get out alive, but not yeah. Yeah. Alex Dunn will come around the final corner, falls, punctures and stuff. But it's a 1-2 for McLaren with Hamilton in 3rd, Haas get 4th place and 5th Bortoletto. Here it is, Oscar Piastri, a disappointing start to the season. Well, in round 6 he becomes the 6th winner of season 3. With Norris in 2nd and Hamilton in 3rd. McLaren, that's crucial, 1-2 for them. Sixth, Giovinazzi. 7th, Alonso. 8th, Russell. 9th, Vettel. 10th, Verstappen. 11th, Hadjar. So Red Bull do score points. Gasly in 12th, 13th, Pierce. 14th, Bottas. 15th, Stroll. 16th, Sainz. 17th, Dunn. 18th, Perez. 19th, Behrman. 20th, Albon. 21st, Antonelli. 22nd, Charles Leclerc. 23rd, Hayes. 24th, Nico Hulkenberg. Albon. Antonelli, Leclerc, Hayes, Hulkenberg, DNFing. Did I not, or did I not? Did I say that them drivers who've got punctures, Porsche Stroll tyres? Norris leads championship with 71 points, of Lewis Hamilton second with 58 points. Borletto third with 45, Dunn in fourth with 45, Giovinazzi 41, Piastri 41, Ocon 40, Verstappen 38, 35 Leclerc, 30 Russell, season 1 champion and season 2 champion right there. Hulkenberg 27, same as his car number, 24 Behrman, 23 Antonelli, 20 Sebastian Vettel, 14 points Gasly, 11 points to Pierce, 11 points to Hadjar, 10 points Bottas, 8 points Hayes, Lance Stroll with 6 points, so is Fernando Alonso with 20th, 21st respectively. Williams have an absolutely tragic season so far of only 2 points, with Alex Albon in 22nd place, and Perez and Sainz rounded up to 24 card grid with only 0 points. Then we've got in the Constructors' Championship McLaren, 112 points, Ferrari 93, Audi 72, Haas 64, Porsche 61. Keep in mind, in Season 1 and Season 2, Porsche failed to score a single point. Yeah. And we got a podium in round 1 this season. Brawl 59, Mercedes 53, Red Bull in 8th with 49, in a 30-point gap, I think. That's probably horrible maths. No, I think it is. 30-point gap to Apex GP, who on 19 points, and Aston Martin 12 points, Cadillac 10, Williams, that horrible season I was saying, on 2 points. So guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe button for the next race in Austria. It should be an exciting one, as we might see a 7th different race winner in 7 races. I do not know. I have to wait to find out. Hit the like button and subscribe button. Until next time, see ya.